1835. So we've got, it is Texas Lone Star, 1835 bourbon, limited release single barrel. If you're watching at home, we are having barrel 255. No, bottle 255, barrel 1381. So single barrel from Texas Lone Star, obviously from Texas. And this was recommended by our local Specs distributor. Devia, what do you have to say about 1835?
So I wasn't able to find a lot of information on this, but it is 100% proof and it has a tag of boutique bourbon. And that's the only information I have for this.
That was the adjective I was looking for when we were trying a bourbon. We've tried a lot of boutique. We tried a lot of bourbons, but I was like, is this a boutique bourbon? And they said no, and I wasn't interested.
So this was recommended by Specs, who has questionable recommendations. I don't always trust their recommendations. This was distilled in Kentucky by someone.
Willet, by the Willet Distillery, which is legit.
Are you sure it's from Willet?
It says Willet right there.
Where? I don't see Willet.
Somewhere. In another bottle, it did say it was distilled by Willet, which I had a bad experience with Willet once. But generally, overall, Willet is a very, very good distillery.
This is bottled in Louisville, Texas. Not to be confused by Louisville, Kentucky, where this is probably from.
There may or may not be a Louisville, Texas.
There's a Louisville,
Right.
Texas.
But we all have like any other, like fill in the blank city.
Is there an
Texas.
E at the end of the S?
1835, single barrel bourbon whiskey. You have some.
I have some.
I have some on ice.
Have some neat, as always.
You are a neat guy.
I like to think so. Thank you.
I'm gonna have a little straight as well. It's really good on ice. It's wonderful on ice, but I can't get a good aroma from
the ice.
the ice.
It
It has a sharp alcohol on the
Yes.
nose.
It does.
The alcohol is pretty sharp. It's almost like if I was cleaning something.
It is a burn. I've had more pleasant burn. I've had worse burns, but it is burn. I wouldn't say it's a terrible burn.
I think what counters the burn is it has a nice sweet and then medium body mouthfeel. So you're countering the burn with a little bit more substance.
I would agree. It's a very classic bourbon taste, caramel. I would agree with medium body.
Not much corn on it.
Yeah, it's
Do you get much corn on it?
no corn.
No, and having said all that, really, I think that the defining characteristic for me is the burn. It is I find it a burny bourbon. The flavor that is there is good. However, yeah, while I don't dislike it, this is probably not my favorite bourbon.
You know, I will have to say, it's much better on ice, and I think I'm going to stop taking recommendations from Specs because this is the second time Specs has recommended a bottle that's turned out to be less than expected.
Wow.
This
dude,
episode
nice.
not brought to you by Specs.
So
Yeah.
I
This episode is brought to you by Total Wine, TotalWine.com. Get better recommendations at TotalWine.com and cheaper prices.
So devil's advocate, it is 100 proof. There's
Yeah.
going to be
No,
some burn.
It's definitely 100%.
Yeah, it is 100 proof. I've had way worse than burn proof. And as we all know, what happened, oh man, Total Wine was the one that recommended Bib and Tucker to me that time.
Yeah,
But anyways,
Bib and Tucker's bullshit.
right, that was a mess, but almost as much of a mess was last week when I grabbed that bourbon off Total Wine.
Say the name
Red
again.
blooded
That's
Was that a
it
Total
was.
Wine bourbon?
Yeah, it was Total Wine.
Here's what I gotta say.
So
Don't trust Total Wine or
Yeah.
Specs. Trust Bourbon and Breeches. We will tell you what not to drink. But
Like
I
wine.
feel like a $28 bottle of Evan Williams
Yeah.
single barrel gives this a run for its money.
I'm not even drinking whiskey anymore, and that shit is good.
Yeah,
It really is.
we have it downstairs.
drink more.
What matters is not to stop. rephrasing Keegan.
I agree.
Others is we're
Here's to
drinking.
that.
I agree.
Others to drinking.